Hey there, grammar students. This is Chelsea with Let's Talk. Today, let's break down reported speech of statements. So, we usually have two ways to say what someone else said. We have direct speech and reported speech. Direct speech is usually what we use in written English. So when you're reading a book, you'll probably see direct speech. Direct speech uses quotation marks. So I could say, give myself some more room. The flight attendant said, comma, quotation marks. The passenger is rude. These are the exact words the flight attendant said. The passenger is rude. So this is what you would see in written English. In spoken English, we're more likely to use reported speech. So it would look like the flight attendant said that the passenger was rude. So no quotation marks. This is not exactly what the flight attendant said. I'm telling you in a more casual way what she said. So there's no quotation marks, no comma, and if you'll notice, we added the word that. In reported speech, that is optional. You can say it, you can leave it out, it's totally up to you. There's also one more change. The verb changed. The passenger is rude. In reported speech, we have was. The passenger was rude. Why? Well, the flight attendant said. This already happened in the past. So if I'm telling you what the flight attendant said, I don't want to use present tense. It's not the passenger is rude right now. It's back then when she said this. So we want to put our verbs kind of one tense back. And I'm going to show you some examples with different tenses and different verbs, what this will look like, okay? So here's our first one. Simple present tense, we'll go back one step to simple past tense. If our original sentence is already in past tense, what should we do? I said we checked in at 10 o'clock. Our verb here is already in past simple. We need to go one step back. What's before simple past? Past perfect. I said that we had checked in at 10 o'clock. All right, so I said it, but this happened before I said it, so past perfect. I said that we had checked. Past simple to past perfect. What if we've got a progressive tense? I said the plane is flying smoothly. My main verb here, present progressive. The plane is flying. What's one before present progressive? Past progressive or continuous. I said that the plane was flying smoothly. So, present continuous changes to past continuous. And if our sentence is already in past continuous, I said my luggage was falling. For reported speech, one step before past progressive, past continuous, is going to be past perfect continuous. I said that my luggage had been falling. All right, so past continuous turns into past perfect continuous. Okay, what if our quote is in a future tense? I said, let's see. I said, I'm gonna call the reception desk. Am gonna or going to call. We'll take that, turn it into past tense. I said that I was gonna call reception. Am gonna call, was gonna call. Or with will. I will call reception. I said that what do we do with will? Turns into would. I said that I would call reception. Will turns into would in reported speech. Okay, can. The verb can has a specific change for reported speech. I said the flight attendant can check you in. Our verb can is going to change. I said that the flight attendant could check you in. Can changes to could in reported speech. Do a couple more. May has a specific change. He may have to stay overnight. Changes to might have to stay overnight. Okay, changes into might. What about a verb like must? Must doesn't have a past tense form. But do you know what does have a past tense form? Have to. Must and have to can be used in the same way. So if I said passengers must check in before the flight. Then we can't use that. We're going to have to use had to. had to check in before their flight. So must, it doesn't have a past tense form, so we have to change it to have to and then past had to. Okay, so you have to change the verbs with reported speech. Go 1 tense back in time. Another thing though we need to worry about is pronouns. So if we'll say he said, I have 2 carry-ons. So our verb have will move back to had. So he said this. Now I am telling you what he said. So if I said, he said that I had 2 carry-ons. Now this doesn't make sense because I is not I. I'm talking. So it's not me anymore. So we need to change this to he. He said this. So I can't use I in reported speech. I'm telling you what he said. I have to use he. So not just the verb, but also the pronoun might need to change depending on what you're saying. Let me show you a really difficult one. Patty said to Harry, I called you from my room. So again, if I'm telling you what Patty said, these pronouns are going to have to change. I, you, my, and also our verb, like we already learned about. So I would say, Patty said to Harry that, who is I in this quote? It's Patty. If I'm telling you about Patty, I need to use she. Patty said to Harry that she, our verb in past simple, goes to past perfect, had called. Who is you in this quote? Harry. I'm telling you about Harry. I'm going to use him. She had called him. From, again, my is referring to Patty, so I would say her room. So we've got all kinds of changes. I to she, called to had called. You went to him, and my turned into her. So this is a pretty extreme example. Usually it's not this complicated, but you do need to think about changing pronouns depending on who said it and who you're talking to. Another thing that we might need to change is demonstratives. You guys remember demonstratives? That is this, that, these, those. We use this and these to talk about the specific thing close to us. We use that and those to talk about something that's further away, that's not immediately next to us. So if she said, I won't pay this fee. This is our demonstrative, and we have to change the verb too. When I'm telling you about it, I don't have this fee right in front of me. I'm not being specific about this one. So we'll change our close by demonstratives to the further away demonstratives. She said that, another pronoun shift, she, back from will not to would not. And this is going to go to that. She would not pay that fee. An example with these. I said these headphones are broken. I said that, I'm going to change that one first, those headphones. And our verb were broken. So those demonstratives need to change as well. Another thing that might need to change are adverbs of place or time. So if your quote says, I'm checking in right now. I said this in the past. So if I tell you about it, I can't say right now, I said that I was checking in right now. It's not happening right now. That was in the past. So now we'll have to change to then. I said that I was checking in right then. That's a time in the past. Or a time in the future. You will receive your refund tomorrow. Now, I don't know when I said this exactly, some point in the past, but I can't use tomorrow. It's no longer tomorrow. I said that you would receive your refund. I'll have to say the next day. Right? I can't say tomorrow, right now. That's still in the future. So I have to change that to the next day. Okay, last idea is thoughts. We can also use reported speech to report not what we said, but what we thought. So if my quote is, I thought, the layover is annoying. We'll use that same reported speech structure. I thought that the layover was annoying. So, same process for thoughts. sometimes we think someone else said something. So I could say, I thought you said we don't need a reservation. I can report this thought as well. What I thought someone else said. I thought you said that we didn't need a reservation. And we'll often do this when we're confused. The situation isn't what we thought. I thought you said that we didn't need a reservation, but the receptionist says we do need a reservation. I'm confused. What happened here? So often in a confusing situation or something is wrong, we'll use this structure. Finally, if someone didn't say something or didn't tell us something, then we'll use a negative form with our reporting verb. You didn't tell me that we had plans. So the reported speech will stay the same, but our reporting verb there will be negative. You didn't tell me that we had plans. Now I don't have anything to do. We have to go out. You didn't tell me that we had plans. Okay, so I know this is a complicated thing. So just remember those things that might need to change. The verb might need to go back. The pronouns might need to change. Demonstratives need to change. Adverbs of place or time might need to change. And we can use this for thoughts as well. This is Chelsea telling you that it was not nerdy being wordy. Let's talk again soon.